Hey y'all, this is Megan McMillan. I'm here at EatMyBeats in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for our EMB artist video series. I'm here with Mr. Robert Daniels. How are you, Robert?
Fine, Megan. How are you?
I am doing just fine.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. When we decided that we were going to start doing this, you were the first person that came to mind. And that's because here at EatMyBeats, we just love Robert Daniels, okay? We love him, and you're going to find out why, okay? Robert, one thing I want to know, you're from Mississippi. Were you born and raised in Mississippi?
I was not born and raised in Mississippi. I was born and raised in upstate New York.
Yeah.
And then moved to Mississippi by way of South Carolina.
Awesome. Okay, so you got a taste of the East Coast there before you came down.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So how'd you like that? How'd you like South Carolina?
South Carolina was fun. It wasn't in Mississippi. There wasn't a heck of a lot of co-writing and gigging going on, you know. So it kind of drew me up to Nashville more. So I was doing a lot of traveling back and forth to Tennessee. And in playing in the Mississippi Songwriters Festival, I got to meet Miss Hope Cassidy. And through that, I started coming to Tuscaloosa to play in Tips for Tuscaloosa, the fundraiser that y'all hold once a month. Which is how I got to know all of you here at EatMyBeats.
Yeah, and we're very thankful for things like that. You know, I mean, here in Tuscaloosa, we're just a short drive to Atlanta. We're a short drive to Nashville. We're a short drive to the coast. We're not too far of a drive out to Austin if you really want to get there bad enough. So we're really in a good spot here. And with our artist series, what we're doing is we're bringing in artists that that we believe in, and artists that we've seen, and artists that have made an influence to us, and we're just trying to get y'all out there to the masses a little bit more.
There's a great music scene here in Tuscaloosa. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot
of good musicians. And I get to see some of them up in Nashville once in a while too, which
I know.
is great.
That is great. That's great. So as far as the music thing, have you always played music, or was there a point in your life where you decided you wanted to start playing music? What kind of pushed you in that direction?
Well, I started playing when I was 8. Started playing guitar, taking guitar lessons, and played all through, you know, grade school and high school, and started getting in bands in high school and college. And then I kind of laid off it for a while then, and I was doing a lot of radio production work. So I had all the recording equipment and was doing background music for radio commercials and things like that, and had always written songs all the way along. I don't know if they were, in fact, I know they weren't any good. It was more like poetry put to music. And I ran into Toby Keith.
Really?
In Hogs and Heifers in downtown Manhattan in 2007. And we got chatting, and he said to me, he said, well, he says, you have to join a songwriting organization to get going. And he recommended Nashville Songwriters. And there was a pretty active chapter in New York of Nashville Songwriters, but I actually first joined the Songwriters Guild in New York City. And that's when things really started to catch, and getting involved in songwriting and studying the craft. And then going out and doing solo gigs, which was absolutely terrifying.
It's scary,
in the beginning. But I cut my eye teeth in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. You know, you've heard of CBGBs and places like that, and you know, Sidewalk Cafe, and you name it, I played it out in Brooklyn, and that's really what got me going. From that, I met a really good group of songwriters, and then just let it roll from there.
That's awesome. And you know, something that people sometimes don't realize is it's so much about relationships. It's so much about, I mean, you got to have the talent, you have to have the drive to want to do it, but to get out there and meet people and to network with people, that's the absolutely most important thing, I think.
It's all about relationships. And if you're doing it on a professional level, then it's called the music business. So of course you have the very, very important art form of the music, which comes first. But I hate to say it, but almost equally important, again, if you're doing it professionally, is the business side. So you're doing business as you would in any other industry. In this particular case, the product is the art, is the music.
Exactly.
And as everybody knows, it's about networking. It's about meeting people. A lot of it is timing, you know, being in the right place at the right time. But we all know that it's easier to do business with someone that you know or someone that you like.
Exactly.
So in your networking, that opens doors and opens opportunities for you.
Absolutely, it does. And a lot of the behind the scenes stuff is the stuff that, you know, it's not always fun. It's not always, you know, sparkly and pretty and glamorous like everybody thinks when you get on stage and you play a song. They say, oh, well, that's easy.
You don't have to sugarcoat it. It's darn rough.
Yeah,
it's hard work.
It is hard work. It's a lot of like behind closed doors work that nobody will ever see, just to get on stage and play a couple songs.
You know, I remember I was playing in Nashville one night in Music City Bar and Grill, where they have some unbelievably great artists playing in there. And I got off stage and people come up and ask about your songs and where can we find your music, and it makes you feel good.
Right.
You think that people are liking your music. Well, the very next morning, I was going to a songwriting symposium with some major speakers, you know, big people in the music business. And the very first words out of their mouth were, "I know you all think you're hot, because people come up to you in bars at 10 o'clock at night and tell you that your music's good. But will your music play on the radio at 7 o'clock in the morning?"
Did Ralph Murphy say that?
That was.
Because I was at a songwriter
It was Murphy's Law,
event.
as a matter of fact.
Exactly.
That's exactly who it was.
I was talking to Mr. Ralph Murphy in Mississippi one time, actually, and he told me the exact same thing. He said, you know, anybody can write a song that everybody's going to love at 10 at night when everybody's drunk and having a good time, but who's going to listen to a song at 7 a.m. and keep it on, you know?
Now, I'll tell you a funny story about that. Because, I mean, I went from being all pumped up to, oh boy, like that at, you know, 10 o'clock the next morning at this symposium. So I decided, well, I'm gonna write a song that can play on the radio at 7 o'clock in the morning. So my better half, Sonia, and I, we sat down, because she was with me at the symposium, and we wrote this song. It was inspired. A friend of mine's mom said something to me. She was a single mom, and she said, well, I'm the man of the house, which really struck me. So we wrote a song about a single mom being the man of the house.
Right.
And thought that it would play well for people, you know, in the morning. Well, all of a sudden, I got this call to play a show down in Biloxi, Mississippi. And along with playing the show, I had to do promo for it, which included radio.
Yeah.
So I guess it was Kicks 108 out of Biloxi. And they brought me in. You know what time I had to be there? 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's rough.
And perform the song.
That's rough.
So I was like, it's crazy how things happen.
Yeah.
This guy tells me, well, your song play on the radio at 7 o'clock. I write a song specifically for that, and within a month,
that's insane.
I was on the radio with that song at 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's meant to be.
Unbelievable.
That's right. Well, that Ralph Murphy, he's a smart man. He's a smart man. I learned a lot from him. So tell me a little bit about, earlier this year you won an award from TSAI. Tell us a little bit about that.
Tennessee Songwriters Association. Again, I've been a member of Nashville Songwriters Association for years. And again, like I said, I was active with them in New York and South Carolina and down into Mississippi. I always stayed with Nashville Songwriters Association. And when I was down playing the Mississippi Songwriters Festival, I ran into a couple of successful songwriters who were and still are living in Nashville. And they asked me, are you familiar with the Tennessee Songwriters Association? They said, a lot of people from that organization is getting cuts. Now, for those of you who don't know, a cut is when you write a song and then an artist records it. That recording of it for their album or their tape is called a cut.
Which is a really good thing.
So they told me that they were getting a lot of cuts. So I joined the Tennessee Songwriters Association, and I'm the type of person where if I'm going to do something, I do it.
Right.
So I got involved. I went to the meetings. They have pitch to publisher meetings every single week. They draw in some very big names, and I got active, and I networked.
Yep.
Okay, and then it was awards time, and I guess it was December. And lo and behold, I was nominated for the Horizon Award, which I presume at this point meant the up-and-coming
Right.
songwriter. I hope it wasn't over the horizon.
I doubt that's the case. I doubt that's the case.
So we went to the awards ceremony. We were all duded up, and they asked me to play a song, and I played the song, and I think I did okay.
Yeah.
You know, people clapped. It wasn't 7 o'clock, and it wasn't on the radio, but people clapped, and I got off stage, and I was off the side, and I was putting my guitar away, and the woman was on stage, and it was just like a regular award ceremony you would see on TV. And they said, okay, now we're going to announce the winner of the Horizon Award. Well, I couldn't hide fast enough because I didn't want people to see my face when I lost, and I'd be all embarrassed. And, you know, there were people there, they had their mothers and their children with them and stuff like that, and I was sure they were going to win.
Yeah.
I was absolutely positive they were going to win. At no point did I think that I was going to win. So they opened, it was a beautiful crystal award, and opened the box, and I guess the name was there, and she said the winner is, and hesitated. I thought they were going to cut to commercial.
Yeah.
They hesitated, and they said Robert Daniels. And I swear it didn't register at all. I was still hiding behind the beam so no one could see my face.
Right.
And then I noticed the lady, because I could see up on stage where the lady was, and I could see she was looking. And then it dawned on me, oh my God, they called my name. You know, and I'll tell you, playing the song was easy. Mm-hmm. Getting the award was real difficult.
Really?
Yes.
Like you're not prepared for that.
I did. What do you say?
Slap a high five and say thanks, you know?
And I think that's what I said. I said, gee, playing the song was easy. This is hard. You know, and...
well, good for you.
And
that's
it's helped.
awesome. Yeah.
It's helped because, and, you know, you might think it's a little silly or a little crazy, but you then become an award-winning songwriter.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And when you're introduced on stage, people refer to it.
Mm-hmm. They do.
So it helps your profile.
Exactly.
And it helps in business.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very, very honored.
Absolutely.
I was absolutely, completely, totally surprised.
Well, that makes it even better.
I'm still surprised.
Yeah, that makes it even better.
You know,
that's awesome.
But it's good for the resume.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate it. And Tennessee Songwriters Association is very, very good to me. Mm-hmm. You know, and I try to give back as much as I can. But it's a real good organization.
Yeah, it's great to have that support group. It really is. I've heard nothing but great things about TSAI.
Yeah,
really.
I write with a lot of people there now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as far as plans for the upcoming year, the upcoming 5 years from now, what do you got going on? Because I know you just moved to Nashville.
Just moved.
So what's next?
Well, I feel like I'm in a good place.
Yeah.
I love Nashville. I feel extremely comfortable there.
Mm-hmm.
Sonia and I interviewed a lot of cities before we settled on where we were going to settle.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about over years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's the best thing ever. Best thing I think that I've ever done was move there. And I'm of the belief that it takes time and it takes patience.
Right.
So I don't have a time schedule. I don't have to leave. You know, I still do the radio production and TV production, so that helps to earn a living and pay the bills. I'm writing up, and what that means is writing with people who are more established or considered better writers than yourself. So I'm writing up. I'm being invited to co-write with people who are further along than I am, and I'm very, very happy with that. So I'm just going to keep on plugging. Yeah. And keep on networking. I've made some great friends. I totally believe, absolutely totally believe. I know that something will happen. It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah.
You know, I can't wait. But I have to do my time.
That's right.
So and pay your dues. And that's what I'm doing now, and
Right.
I'm great with it, and I love our house and our neighborhood, and you know, you're just hanging out with a bunch of artists, and if you're not playing your own gig, you're going to see one of your friends play, and just like we mentioned earlier, networking and meeting people and setting appointments for co-writes and
Right.
having people come over for dinner and going to other people's houses, and it's so good.
It's a great life, you
It's-
know?
it's so
a great
good.
life. Yeah, and it's very rewarding. You know, not only the relationships that you have, but the fulfillment you get to actually create your songs and to have people listen to your songs and get feedback from your songs and knowing that you're doing your best to get them out there. For me, that's completely fulfilling.
It's just a big community of nitty-gritty freaks.
I know.
It's
I know.
wonderful.
And when you feel comfortable amidst that group
wonderful.
of freaks, you know you're in the right place.
I can't even tell you, you know, how happy I am, and again, the word is comfort. To
Right.
feel so comfortable, to know that you are where you belong, and that it's not temporary. It doesn't have to be temporary. I
Right.
can stay there, and
It's amazing.
good.
Good for you. That's
all
a
good.
great
Thank
thing.
you.
That is a
Thank
great
you.
thing. So can we find any of your stuff online? Do you have anywhere we can go to hear your stuff?
oh, sure.
All right, let us
Sure.
know.
Well, mostly everything is combined in one spot at reverbnation.com/Robert Daniels.
Okay.
Okay. And I have a YouTube video channel.
Okay.
Which is youtube.com/Robert Daniels Music.
Okay.
And everything is available for sale. Everything that I have published and recorded is on Google Play, iTunes, Amazon, and if you like a hard copy, if you're not into downloading and you'd like a CD, that's where you would go. You would go to Amazon
Okay.
to buy the CD.
Right.
And
And I highly recommend that you do that. Highly recommend, because like I said, Robert is one of our favorites. The first time we heard you play, we just loved it. I invited Robert here to Eat My Beats to do my fundraiser party that I had for my album,
That's
which is
right.
out now. Robert came and played that, and I was so happy to have him. And do you
That was
know?
a great night.
It was a great night. It was a lot of fun. So what are you going to play today?
I'm going to play a new one.
A new one.
Definitely a patented Robert Daniels party song.
Yeah.
But it's a brand new one, and it's called BYOT.
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 Do we have to guess about the T, or will you tell us?
I'll tell you in the song.
Okay. All right, we'll be back with Robert Daniels, BYOT.
My phone started buzzing, I got a new message. It came from a good friend of mine. Said I'm having a party this coming Friday, guaranteed you'll have a good time. At the bottom of the message it said BYOT. When I asked my friend, what does that mean? She replied to me, bring your own tequila, BYOT. I got salt and plenty of lime and all the ice that you need, and I got a big blender, so bring a little for me. Bring your own tequila, BYOT. The party got crazy like Panama City, like a bonfire juiced up with fuel. The next thing I knew, clothes started flying and everyone jumped in the pool. There were swan dives off a rooftop and cannonballs out of a tree. Then the whole party started shouting BYOT. Bring your own tequila, BYOT. I got salt and plenty of lime, and all the ice that you'll need, and I got a big blender, so bring a little for me. Bring your own tequila, BYOD. I open my eyes to a tequila sunrise, with one girl on each side of me. I called to my friend, when can we do this again? And she hollered back to me, bring your own tequila, BYOD. I got salt and plenty of lime, and all the ice that you need, and I got a big blender, so bring a little for me. Bring your own tequila, BYOD. Bring your own tequila,